nobody is under the assumption that once this is designed that, hey, we can just do this.
Madam President, Commissioner Moulthrop, well said. And again, to Commissioner Hanson's point, this is just a concept, and I think some of the ideas that you and the rest of the commission already put forward, the staff will be looking at that as they go forward to bring back to you before anything, any major dollars are spent. But this is most likely a $30 million project when it's all said and done, and there is no $30 million at this point.
I got another one of those we can figure out.
Yeah, I know, sir. But in a couple of weeks, you'll be meeting with the joint session with Meridian, and I'm confident that there's going to be a project that the city of Meridian is going to put up to say we would like your support on this major project also. So again, this is just.
Which might have something to do with Linder.
It could have something to do with Linder, just maybe. But again, this is a concept only, so based on that, we'll start forward in concept phase only. We will make sure that we're back to you as we advertised and so put up on the screen here those specific dates to get your thumbs up or thumbs down moving forward.
So will all the concepts be basically a bridge span that will assume 7 lanes at some point, or will we have a concept that has a bridge span that will never exceed 5 lanes?
It'll be a 7, according to what we just put down here, it'll be a 7-lane bridge.
That's what
I'm fine with proceeding ahead with the concept, so.
Concur. Thank you very much.
Do you have any further comments, Commissioner Baker?
No, I'm good with the, the concept of the 7 lanes bridge, although I would like to see it, fixed if possible in whatever areas we can get to.
Sounds good.
Thank you. And I will finish
Okay,
this.
so let's go back to the director's report and finish those items. Did everyone sign the resolution?
No.
Yep.
I'll start in there.
Call for Mr. Hanson.
Hopefully I didn't miss anything.
That's the Wall Creek.
Yeah. Commissioners, as we do every year at the end of January, we put together from audited documents a publication that we have historically, and with your permission will continue again this year, to share with all the elected officials in Ada County. It will be on our website and it will be sent to the media. Of course, Commissioner Arnold, if you approve the media release that we have put there for you.
Okay.
And so let me go through this and show you where dollars went. First slide, year 2018 revenue generated by jurisdiction. That's where you received your dollar support, again, by jurisdiction. As you can see, by jurisdiction, the city of Boise allocated a majority of the revenue, with Meridian coming in second and Ada County coming in third. Going to the next slide is the expenditures by jurisdiction. You'll notice that the ACHD expended a majority of the dollars in Boise, with second being Meridian and third being Ada County, and then lined up accordingly across there. This next slide is one that we do send to the media, and it shows just in 2018, the blue is where the revenue was generated from, the red is where it was expended. And of course, it was expended based on the integrated 5-year work plan, your directions, and where growth is going. I think that you'll find that the city of Boise actually received 145% of what was collected in Boise going forward, and get a great distribution of dollars based on where growth is. Well, and these are always great to have the 1-year snapshots. However, that doesn't tell the story. As you know, we've added the trends on it. So the next slide, from 14 to 18, that's where we generate dollars. On the next slide, 14 to 18 is where we expend them by jurisdiction. And you'll notice for the last 4 years, again, it's a pretty good distribution of dollars where the need is. You'll find that Boise, over the last 4 years, has attained 118% of what was collected in Boise and the others, percentages are as presented in front of you. Then going from 14 to 18, in fact, I double slides here. Okay, the projected, I'd like to go to the projected jurisdictional split based on the FY integrated 5-year work plan 19 to 23, which is you approved a couple months ago. Looking out into the future, you'll find again a pretty good distribution of where, again, on the integrated 5-year work plan, which is approved by cities and of course you, this is where we see the dollars going at this point in time. Again, blue is revenue, and red is where the proposed expenditures are going to be. And then on the last slide, we start at 2004, and we project out now to 2023, which includes the integrated 5-year work plan. And again, you'll notice a very good trend of where dollars are collected and where dollars are allocated across the board. Anyway, that's our report. Nicole has put together a very brief public announcement. Again, with your permission, this afternoon, this is going to go out. And at the end of the day, if you're asked, there's no smoke and mirrors in this. This is all audited documents, and those are facts. So.
Madam President, I'm thinking that part of the reason it was, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, slanted as much as it was in Boise was we made some changes in the 5-year work plan a couple of years ago and completed the Lake Hazel project.
Part of it
really wasn't even on the radar at that point. And that made a kind of a good change in things, didn't it?
The commission has, for many years, focused very strongly, again, on placing dollars where growth is going. Again, it's coordinated through not only the cities, but the neighborhood associations. You also have funded the community programs project.
Yeah.
You've also funded a lot of the safe routes to schools issues, which by law you have to do that. But that being said, as you can see from these graphs, the distribution of dollars is not a, well, you gave us this much, therefore this much must be spent in this area. It's a distribution of dollars where you felt would be the best need, and again, to where growth is going. Now, tomorrow, you're going to see a different story. You're going to see the impact of the delta and what the requirements are, and what the additional, or what we believe is available funding is there to look at that delta. And as you recall in the strategic plan, which was of course Commissioner Woods' favorite comment, favorite presentation, we had just a year ago suggested to you that 2023, 2024 would be a very key decision point. You're going to see tomorrow now it's 2021. So it's going to be an interesting challenge to all of us. But at the end of the day, we started this about 7 years ago, 7 years ago, and we think it's important to be transparent on this. And so that's our report. I will be, again, with your concurrence, it's on the website, it'll be in the media, and it'll be sent out to all elected officials.
In an effort maybe to head off some negativity against Boise getting so much, I'm remembering that a large portion of that extra money that went to those Boise projects came from the underbids that we were able to manage to separate and put together and pool to pay for a project that would not otherwise even have been more than a thought.
And the other part, Commissioner, is that as you've seen in the past, when we've presented the aging graphics on the road structures, Boise, and we have like 17 different road structures, Boise's infrastructure is aging something fierce. And so the focus has, again, based on the need, has now swung to that area. In that comment, you might remind people that in the last couple of years, you've seen Meridian with a huge additional amount of dollars that go to them, because that's where construction and growth was going at the time. I would be willing to bet, as we've shared with the commission earlier, where we know where projects are in the next couple of years, this is gonna change, and you're gonna see that swing going into CUNA. You're gonna see that swing going into Star and into Eagle, and maybe Northern Meridian. But then again, as you see the development plans that are going in eastern Boise, or in the, not in the foothills area, but more in the desert area out by Micron and the different plans that we've put forth and said, here's what we see coming. This will change again, but I think it's a good reflection of the collaborative process that the elected officials and staffs go through to trade back and forth, to have those discussions of what each city believes is important to them, and then coming to you at the end of the day and saying, okay, it's in your court, do you want to approve this or not? And I also think that the addition of our public open houses, when it comes down to discussions on what the neighborhoods and public believe we or the cities have missed, that's been very instrumental in kind of swinging those dollars also. But again, when this goes out, you will see, as we always do, a little bit of concern or grousing about how come. This is where the staffs and the elected officials have said those were dollars, that's where they need to go, and at the end of the day, it moves. And we are doing a lot of focus in Boise because not only with the DBIP and the other areas that we are working on, that infrastructure is starting to crumble. It's old.
I remember the map from last year.
And that'll change a little bit again when you see the
All the
next
bad
one.
colors were in downtown Boise.
You'll see that tomorrow.
Yeah.
On one slide.
Well, I hate to see us get too hung up on these graphics, because we're all one community, and I benefit from dollars that are spent in Meridian. I live in West Boise, I work in Meridian, I work in Garden City, shop all over the place. I mean, I drive all over the county, so we're one community, and you know, this kind of thing
Well,
just.
we've been really good about that. I cannot complain with that attitude. Has been pretty great on the commission.
I even shop in CUNA sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you know,
There's a lavender farm
Mayor
down
Steer did make an announcement about a year ago that now he could finally buy a pair of pants in CUNA when Tractor Supply came in.
So commissioners, if you're all right with this, we'd like to, again, share it with the public.
Okay.
Okay?
Good idea.
Okay, great. And
Thank you.
Commissioner, you've got, where's Nicole? Don't let her leave. You've got that, and 2 year ready to go, won't you? Okay?
Okay.
Commissioners, I have to get a card. I've got to be another place here shortly.
Thank you
So,
very
do you have
much.
anything else for me at this point?
Drive safely.